The midnight elevator. This is the story of Rohan, a software engineer who worked late nights in Mumbai. What he experienced one night would change his life forever. It was past midnight when Rohan returned home from work. Exhausted and desperate for sleep, he entered his apartment building lobby. The elevator in his building was old, very old, and the residents had one unspoken rule: never take it after midnight. But Rohan, distracted by his phone, didn't think twice. He pressed the button and waited. The old elevator arrived with a creaky sound. The doors opened slowly, revealing its dimly lit interior. Without looking up from his phone, Rohan stepped inside. He pressed the button for the 7th floor and leaned against the wall, closing his eyes. But suddenly, the elevator stopped. 3rd floor. Rohan's eyes opened. He hadn't pressed the 3rd floor button. In fact, no one had lived on the 3rd floor for 10 years, not since the incident. The doors began to open slowly, revealing a dark, silent hallway. And then he saw her, a girl in a white dress, standing in the darkness, facing away from him. Her voice was soft, childlike, innocent. "Will you play with me?" Rohan's heart began to race. Something felt wrong, very wrong. It's very late, Beta," he stammered. "Maybe tomorrow." And then she turned her head. Not her body, just her head, 180 degrees, until she was facing him. Her eyes were completely black. "I said, will you play with me?" Rohan's survival instinct kicked in. He frantically pressed the door close button. Again and again, the doors began to close. But the girl started moving toward him, unnaturally fast, her movements jerky and wrong. The doors closed just as her pale hand reached through the gap. The elevator shot upward. Rohan's heart was pounding. His hands were shaking. He could barely breathe. Finally, the 7th floor. The doors opened and he ran. He ran to his apartment, fumbled with his keys, burst inside, and slammed the door shut. He locked it, bolted it, put the chain on. He stood there, breathing heavily, his back against the door. "I'm safe," he whispered to himself. "I'm safe." And then he turned around, sitting on his sofa. In his apartment was the same girl. She smiled, a wicked, knowing smile. "You never said no." They say Rohan was never seen again. But sometimes, late at night, residents hear children laughing on the 3rd floor. And one voice that sounds like a grown man, crying. Some rules exist for a reason. And the rule about the midnight elevator should never be broken.